What's going on, guys? Dots here, and today I'm bringing you a beginner guide to the sticker book system in the Elder Scrolls Online. So this feature has been in the game for quite some time, but I haven't made a beginner guide on it quite yet, so I figured I would just make one today for those of you who may be new for the game and looking to understand how this system works. So in ESO, there are a lot of different gear sets that you can wear on your character, and wearing a certain number of pieces of these sets will do different things. But with how many different gear sets that there are, and sometimes, you know, some gear sets are really good in certain patches and maybe not as good in others, and inventory management being a concern for many players in ESO, sometimes you wonder, like, well, what if I have this piece of gear but I don't really have the room for it right now, but I want to have it later? Like, what if I want to use this in a future patch? Do I have to go refarm it? Like, what do I have to do? But thankfully, with the not brand new anymore, but with the relatively new sticker book system, you are actually able to deconstruct those pieces and get rid of them, but not actually lose the ability to have the items. So if you go open your collections menu, I believe this is the default keybind of U, and you come over to set items, you can see this list of all the different sets from the different zones and different sources. So for example, if I go to PvP here and we look at this Coward's Gear, if you hover your mouse over it, it tells you what the 2, 3, 4, and 5 piece set bonuses are, as well as what pieces you have collected. So these are all pieces of Coward's Gear that I have previously collected. And so if I ever want to, let's say I deconstruct the Coward's Gear and I ever want to recreate a piece, the sticker book system allows me to do it by just a simple cost of 34 transmutation stones. You could go to a transmutation station either in someone's house or in the Clockwork City, and you can go to it and click the tab to actually recreate the piece of gear. So we're actually back at my house now at the transmute station, so I can just like show you guys actually how this works. So you simply go and click the reconstruct tab. You can go to the piece of Coward's Gear that you're interested in, and then you can choose what trait you want to actually create it in. You must have this trait researched on your character in order to recreate the gear piece with the proper trait. You can then select the quality based off of, you know, which quality materials that you have. You have your transmutation cost, and boom, you're good to go. Now, the transmutation cost for actually recreating a piece of gear is based off of how many pieces of that gear set that you already know. So as you can see, this one costs 34, the Coward's Gear, but my impreg only costs 29. And it's because I have, you know, bound more pieces of impregnable armor to my sticker book compared to more pieces of Coward's Gear. Now, where this can also become extremely handy, and what has been a problem for people like myself in the past who have a lot of alts, is creating multiple pieces of a set gear. So for example, the new antiquity, the Mark and Ring of Majesty, I use this on multiple characters. And so instead of having to, you know, pass one ring around and make sure that it has a, you know, a good trade and enchant that work on multiple characters, I was able to just create multiple copies of the ring for 25 transmutation stones, and boom, I can now have it on multiple characters. Now, the way that you can tell if a piece of gear has been reconstructed through the sticker book system, if I can figure out how to open my bags, is by that symbol next to the word arcane. It's like the helmet with like the glow behind it. That's how you know a piece of gear has been reconstructed. It also does say in the top right, reconstructed. So that's how you know if a piece of gear has been recreated. Now, one other cool thing about it is that you can recoup some of the transmutation cost by actually deconstructing reconstructed gear. So if you go, like, let's say back to the bank here, I can sort by pieces that I have reconstructed. So you click this trade information and boom, I can see all the pieces that I've reconstructed. Now, if I deconstruct these pieces, I will get, I believe, 25 transmutation stones back from actually deconstructing this piece. So let's say you recreate some gear and then later on you're like, look, I don't really need this and I need transmutation geodes to either transmute a piece or reconstruct a piece. You can break down a couple pieces, recoup some of that cost, and then use those geodes to create a new piece of gear. Now, in terms of how to actually bind the gear to your sticker book, there's actually two ways that you do it. Number one, you could actually deconstruct the gear itself. So let's hypothetically this burning spellweave gloves were not bound to my character or already known. If I got them out of the dungeon, I could deconstruct the burning spellweave gloves and it'll automatically be added to my sticker book. But another thing that you can do if you get a piece, like let's say right from a dungeon, and you want to actually learn it to your sticker book and keep it, is that you can right click the piece and click bind, and that'll automatically bind the piece of gear to your sticker book and learn it for your character. And do keep in mind that the sticker book is also account wide. But guys, that's really all I got today. Just a nice simple guide explaining the sticker book system and how it works. This is a pretty big system that was added to ESO, and I never made a guide covering it, so I just wanted to really quickly do it today. And this is one of the greatest systems they've added to the game. I will say ZeniMax has been doing a great job with the quality of life stuff recently between the new armory system and the sticker book. I also did create a guide for the armory, which you can find on my YouTube channel, but I really quickly just wanted to make this guide for you today for those who may be interested in how this system works. But that's all I got today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please smack a like on it. It really helps me with that YouTube algorithm. Any questions about the sticker book system and how it works, feel free to leave a comment below. And for more ESO content as well as other MMORPG content, please feel free to hit that sub button as well as hit the bell to keep those notifications on. So thank you all so much for stopping by today. I do very much appreciate it. As always, I'm Dots Gaming, and I'll see you all in the next one.